Okay, in this section we're going to focus on adding the upper body and head to our walk. Now it would be best, or best advised, to add them to the most important positions first. So that would be the contact, the down, the passing, the up, and the other contact down, passing, and up. So I'm going to start with the contact. And I'm going to create a new layer for this by going to the plus sign next to layers. I'm going to call this body. Add. And for the color, I'll just go with red. And for the contact, now depending on what your body structure is, you can use the silhouette of their torso, or if they're wearing heavy clothing or a cowl around their shoulders, then I would just structure them as if their clothes, like they were just wearing a leotard. That way, anything that would flow, flap, or change their silhouette dramatically, we can put that in afterwards, because any kind of long sleeves or capes or cowls or shawls, long hair, big poofy collars, any of that stuff is reacting to the body. It doesn't direct the body's motion. It's a reacting. What you can do if you are not sure how you want this body to move yet is you can start with the spine and then maybe the ribs. There you go. Okay. There we go. And if you want to use onion skinning on one layer and not all the layers, you can select the layer, and to the left of it there's what looks like a little stack of pancakes or the onion skin, and you click on that. So you could have multiple layers onion skinned at the same time or isolate one. Okay. Okay, so it's coming down. Could maybe straighten the body a little more, although it is pretty straight as it is, but maybe straighten it a little more. And then here it's coming up. I can maybe reverse the spine a little. Okay. So not doing an awful lot to the spine. You just want to do something. You don't want the back to be completely stiff. So this will be a little higher. Okay. I just want to make sure I've got this kind of in the same-ish. This is a little stiff. This is a little higher. This is the up position. Maybe bring this up a little. There you go. paste. Okay, let me see if that looks okay. That might be a little too much. Yeah, so I'm going to straighten this back a little more. And do the same thing with this one. Okay. And that's too high. Okay. Okay, that looks like that might be all right. Okay, so then let's add the head. I would not add hair. I wouldn't add eyes. I wouldn't add a mouth. I would just add the shape of the head. Now she's going to go off screen. This is cutting at a very awkward place. That's okay. We can adjust the camera for that. You could decide to add ears or the nose maybe if you want to use them as an anchoring point. If your character is like a dog and has little floppy ears, then you would not want to add the ears yet, whether they are pointed or whether they are floppy. Those, because they would be reacting to the up and down action of the body, you would not want to add that yet. Okay, and you can decide if you want to add the neck in here or not. Either way could work. Now the head, you're going to probably want to bob up and down as well. Maybe do a little tilting. So maybe tilting the head up a little bit or tilting the head down a little bit. But it also depends on how loose their neck is. You don't want to copy and paste it and have it be extremely stiff like that. But if you have the head bob around too much, they could look like a bobblehead. And if they go back and forth too much, you might get a pigeon. Again, you may want that. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just be wary that it's what you want. It's good to follow the rules when you're first learning, but then once you've got it in your blood, then you can do whatever you want. Okay. Okay. Let's bring the head a little further down. Okay, just go back a little. We'll see if that looks good. Okay. And then that's going to be the same pose as before. And we'll see how this looks. Well, that's not what we want. So all that happened was, this is like the duration. I was calling this the work area, but this is actually really the duration. This is actually the work area, right here. So when this was playing, that's just because this work area was set to be shorter. So let's extend that. There we go. Okay. Okay, I want to bring our head back a little bit in this pose. And I'm just nudging it with the arrow keys. Okay. There we go. So now we've got the body and head kind of moving around. Where the jaw connects to the ear is changing in every frame, which needs to not do that. So I'm just going to check this line. Okay. 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 Not that this is really the stage to have to make sure the character's super on model, but it's good to get a good starting point on that. Okay, so there we go. So the legs are moving very smoothly. The body is choppy just because we have the body and head on just the important frames. But it's good to kind of check and see, does it look okay before going straight ahead and finishing the rest of the in-betweens. Now you could decide to add the arms and see if the animation looks okay before committing to doing in-betweens, or if you're pretty sure you're satisfied with the animation, then you can start going into the in-betweens. There is a little bit of a growth in this. Oops. Okay. Yeah, here the body expands a bit. There we go. Okay. And I'm just trying to make sure that the volumes stay consistent on this character. You can have a little squash and stretch, but you just got to maintain the volumes. Okay. Okay. All right. So before I commit to the head and the body, I'm going to add the arms. So you can make the arms on two separate layers, one in front and one behind. In fact, if we were inking, I'd probably recommend that. But for roughs, you could really do it either way. We'll do the arms on the same layer, but we'll have the front arm be red and the back arm be blue. So let's pause here. I'm going to save, Command S, and in this next section we're going to start adding the arms to see how they look. And that way we can tell if we like how the arms and the body look, we can go and start doing the in-betweens.